Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Simmer M, and today I am super excited because I built a grandmother's cottage in my mind. Um, I did imagine it was only the grandma. It obviously would work if you wanted to have both grandparents. Um, but it's a two-bedroom house. It has a room for what I imagine to be the grandkids' room for whenever they come and visit. Um, but I do think it looks really cute. So just going on that, I imagine the grandmother is super big into knitting and the cross stitch, which I believe came with Country Living. This build is entirely Nifty Knitting, Country Living, and what is it called? Base Game. Um, it's super cute in my mind. It turns out pretty good. Um, Overall, I really love the that I was originally gonna do like a yellow brownish sort of outside look, but the red I think really ends up looking cute. Um, I'm recording this and I'm waiting for the wedding pack live stream, so I'm super excited about that. I'll probably have some some wedding venues coming out soon. I really do hope that you can actually go wedding dress shopping. If not, one of my first things I'll do is probably create a wedding dress boutique, which I think could be really cute. Um, but yeah, so I'm super excited for that. But back to the build. Windows with Country Living, I wish we had like a single window other than the one we have that matches, because there's this two tile one that matches basically the ones with the shutters, and I wish we had a single one that was as tall that matched the ones without the shutters. And I'm sure there's probably some custom content out there that has it, but I don't really do custom content. I find my game slows down a lot. But overall, I really enjoyed building with these packs together. I didn't use much of the stuff from Nifty Knitting. It was mainly the rocking chairs, which I feel like just made it really cute. And if you didn't have Nifty Knitting, it could easily work without that. Um, as well as I did end up adding two bikes to the front of the house while doing screenshots. So those easily don't have to be there. It really does no point other than, in my mind, it added a little something to the front of the house. Um, but really, all you need for this, in my mind, would be Base Game and Country Living. You could find different chairs to put out front for the rocking chairs, and then I have a rocking chair inside. But I just think together it goes really well. And I picture that the grandma does both knitting and cross stitching. And maybe she sells it in town since this is a lot that's right near the front, or not the front, but right near the center of town. I could see her getting into some baking too. I really do love this kitchen. I feel like it looks pretty modern right now, and I end up trying to change that. You'll see I'm going through different tiles I might want to use. I liked these ones, but I wish it was a white back because I couldn't find any that had a matching like color to the actual paint. And then I also wanted the tiles to be black as well. Which I ended up finding this one, which I feel like is the most modern room in the house conveniently. And it may just be that I really like that style, and it's kind of becoming more trendy. Um, but yeah, so you saw I just added a little bit into the dining room. I'll go back there at some point. But the living room, I imagine she has that TV either solely to watch like people teach her how to do either cross stitching or knitting, and for her grandkids when they come visit. I don't see her as being someone who's watching a lot of TV. Her enjoyment comes from talking to people, going out in the town. I imagine she is very involved. She probably goes to all the fairs, um, and really is like meeting everyone. She wants to be friends with the people who just won I believe one of them is like the best chicken, and I think she probably goes in on that one since she does have a few chickens. I imagine they are her husband's, and maybe he passed away. Um, so that, I mean, I hope that with the new stories pack we get something where we can take pictures and then put them in the picture frames just based off of the trailer. I think maybe that could be a possibility. However, it's probably not. I don't want to get my hopes up, but that is my biggest hope for the trailer, or for the Wedding Stories pack. You can see here I'm kind of looking through, seeing if I wanted to add any of that art stuff. It is pretty brightly colored, but I ended up finding enough swatches that were not so much. Um, the dining room is pretty small, but I imagine it's mainly just the grandma, and she has the extra chairs for when guests come over, and she probably doesn't have that many people over at a time. Her grandkids and maybe like their parents, so you could easily add a bigger table if you really wanted to, but there's not enough space in my mind for another bedroom unless you took away like the living room or something like that. Which you could do and, like, put in maybe that, little nook next to the dining room, or, like, put the dining room in that little nook, and I don't know. If you wanted to, you could probably figure out, but this is a pretty small house for what I normally build, um, so I was really excited to do this. I feel like it has a really old-timey look to it, um, but that entryway, I think, ends up looking really cute. I end up putting a shelf there instead of that little banner. Um, but the hallway is really small, so I didn't do much in there. I think there's like a few pictures, and that's really it. And it has space if you wanted to add your own pictures for things. Um, but here I am. I changed it up a little bit, and from my original floor plan, and ended up doing bunk beds, which I think worked out. And since these Sims in my mind don't generally live here, it doesn't have a lot of like toys or anything, but it has like enough. It has a dollhouse, it has a large stuffed animal. That little vanity thing is so cute. It ended up not working for what I wanted to do because I kind of wanted to put it in this little nook, and so I just used counter and a mirror, which I think ended up working out just fine. Um, you can see I'm just trying to clutter up. This house really doesn't have as much clutter as I would normally do, which is a really big deal for me. I feel like I normally have things covered. Um, but you can see I don't have a window in this bedroom, and I didn't realize that until the very end. So I think you'll see me put it in when I'm like doing terrain paint to make a little path. And I am like, oh, I need a window in a bedroom. So I ended up adding that. This dresser is super cute. I added that little picture. It's the one of the soccer team from base game. I imagine it's like the grandkids um and their team, and she's really a family oriented sim. So that's why I think she has that bedroom specifically just for the kids, and I do think that's a really cute idea. This bathroom, I think, is generally going to be the oldest thing in my mind in the house. I think the other stuff has at least been painted a little bit. I really like the blue and the yellow. It's like a little rubber duck in my mind. Um, but I think it works out perfectly. And here it goes, starting on landscaping. Um, I ended up finding, so there's that chicken coop. I ended up finding that a little archway that I really liked, that one right there. And I think it just looks so cute. I end up having that be the opening to the backyard garden area. And I add only a few trees. That little chicken hedge is possibly my favorite thing ever. It is so cute. Um, Especially because I think that's the most she does. I think this lot is a fresh, whatever that is, the fresh kitchen or something like that. So there is a few planting boxes, but overall, I bet she goes to town every day, gets what she needs to make. fresh from one of the farmers. I had a little picnic table with the picnic basket, which I think is adorable. And overall, there's not a lot going on in this backyard. You could add a swing set if you wanted. I just didn't see the grandma necessarily having one. But if you were to move in with more so of a family, that could be really cute. Um, but you'll see I add a few things on the porch as well, a few planter boxes. There's one I put a group of 4 over there, and one of them won't work if you don't move it. That's the only thing I found while I was playtesting it, but I just moved it and planted some plants, or you could just get rid of it entirely. Um, but since it is on the porch, it does say like, oh, you need specific plants, which I wasn't sure like what necessarily I was gonna do for that. So I just ended up cheating my way through the plants. But this is basically the build. I hope you guys enjoy. It'll be up on my Origin. I believe it's Simmer M19 on there. So if you are interested, please give this video a like and enjoy the screenshot.